Sometimes, guys, in the morning when I come to the garden, I still cannot believe that it is summer based on how lush the garden is looking. Usually, guys, I'm on YouTube for 1 year and a couple of months, but I've been doing gardening for a while. Guys, if you're new here, my name is Marie. To my oldies, welcome back. Welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Marie and I garden mostly in containers because we live on the rock, solid rock, guys. So I don't have much choice but to garden in containers. So during summer, it's almost like my garden goes dormant prior to this year because it is so incredibly hot and I just cannot keep up with the watering, and I just can't keep up. That's just it. The watering and the pests during the summer, usually they just kill their combined effort, take my garden down to nothing. So I am so elated and excited. I don't know how to put it into words about how my garden is doing now. And guys, it didn't just happen. It's due to effort, studying how the plants react, how they survive in the conditions, and then just changing some of the things I do to keep the plants. And most of the plants has to be treated differently in order to keep them surviving throughout the summer months. And guys, I'm going to share some of those with you. Some of the things I change, how I feed some of the plants, how I water. I'm gonna just share some of the basic things I do to just keep the garden going and literally just exploding with growth and productivity. I harvest from my garden every day, sometime morning, sometime after. I prefer to harvest in the mornings because they're full of juices. The sun has not dried out the veggies any at all. So usually I do harvesting in the mornings, and that's every day. There has never been a day apart from when I am away from the garden, from home. There's never been a day that I don't get something from my garden since I made those changes. So guys, come take a walk with me, and I'm going to fertilize a few things, so I'll just show you as I go. All right, welcome to the channel, guys. Thank you for the support, guys. I hope you're all doing awesome this morning. All right, let's go. I'm walking around with my mask in hand because I'm going to use it shortly to handle my rat bat manure. I'll get to that shortly, and I'll also get to these corns. They're producing now. They have on ears on there. I'm gonna get to those shortly, but let's talk about this eggplant. How do I keep this eggplant looking so good and producing so well? This plant is in a 5-gallon container. Well, it's about 4.5 gallons because I had cut off the top of the container to facilitate me fertilizing and mulching and so on. So I removed the top of the container. But guys, the stink bugs, they thoroughly enjoy the eggplants, the bell peppers, the okras. How do I keep it healthy? There is no magic trick to it. It's a everyday care sort of thing. So I come out, I take up my soapy water, and I just knock the stink bugs off, or I just bounce them off to give the plant a break. And then when I'm able to get my soapy water, and I then come around and knock them off, and that kills them. But the most important thing, guys, this is a heavy feeder, especially when it has on these big lovely fruits on there, and I'm in a container. So what I have to do, I mulch it. This is a literal deep mulch garden in a container. The mulch is about here. Try and show you closer. So this is a container and the mulch is about to here. This is where I'm sorry you couldn't see it clearer, but this is where the soil literally stops, and then the mulch comes up to the top. So there's a thick layer of mulch on there, and what I use to mulch is chicken manure along with sawdust or wood chips. Yeah, so that is how I keep the eggplant and this section of the garden mostly. I keep it, what should I say, producing and keep the plant healthy by just daily inspection, getting rid of the bugs, and keeping it mulched and watered. That way the water stays in the container a little longer for me, and the plants manage to go through the day. And it's doing awesome. And now it has about 1 million stink bugs on there that I need to take care of. Guys, a couple of videos ago I shared with you some wrap-back manure that I got, and I'm going to be using it for the first time this morning, because based on the reviews that I got from the person who gave us the, well, he gave my husband and my husband gave it to me. His carrots are doing exceptionally well, and this gentleman, he used only organic manures and stuff in his garden, so I trust him, and I trust very little. So I'm going to be placing some of that wrap-back manure on here, but I need to put my mask on and gloves before handling, because it might, not necessarily, have infectious spores that we don't want to breathe in and get any lung infection or respiratory infection. So it's better to be safe. They don't use a thing when they're handling it, but I just choose to be on the safer side. So yes, I'm going to manure these with some wrap-back manure, and hopefully in a couple of weeks or a month we'll see these carrots just exploding and providing lovely long fat carrots for us to harvest together and enjoy. Right, guys, we're going to give that a shot and see how it goes. Yeah. So guys, I'm getting the fight of my life with ants on these corns, but they're still producing. I'm seeing where the ants are making a nest on the root of the corn. But how I get these to do well? These, prior to me putting the mulch, it's mulch, guys. Mulch is the answer when you're in really hot climates like I am. Mulching is critical, because you can feed your plants fertilizer, whatever it is that you put on them to grow, but if the moisture is not in the soil, the roots are not able to pick up nutrients. The soil in which the fertilizer is in must be moist in order for the roots to pick it up, because roots cannot pick up solids. It has to be in a liquid form for the roots to be able to collect that nutrients and channel it up the plant and so into fruits, so you can get lovely ears of corn. I am in containers, as I said, guys, because I have no choice. It is rock. And even if I made sort of raised beds like on the rock, I would still need to keep the soil moist, as when the sun beats down on those rocks in the days, they get extremely hot and the water is just evaporated so quickly. So whether it's container or whether I could put it on the surface of the rock, I'd still need to mulch heavily in order to keep the moisture in. So I found out my corns, they were tasseling, but they weren't putting on ears. So I had to quickly mulch them, about 6 inches of mulch on there now. And that's chicken manure along with sawdust. And the chicken manure is essentially fertilizer. So my corns are being fed with the fertilizer, and also the soil is being covered with the mulch. So it is working both ways. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and it's working effectively. They're filled with ants though, so but you guys told me the ants won't affect them from producing, so let's see. I'm in 2 minds with that, but let's see. So that is how I take care of these corns and have them produce even in the summer. Guys, the summer and pest work hand in hand. So each day, my butternut squash almost has no leaves now, but it doesn't matter because The fruits are almost ready to be harvested. I have to pick off these pests every day, and sometimes I just take off the leaves and everything. Same story with there. I mulch heavily and keep them watered so that the fruits can develop and mature. Guys, I have a cowpea right here. Yay! And more blossoms. There's so many beautiful blossoms coming on it. But yes, guys, this is my biggest squash to date, and it is looking good. The plant is looking healthy. For the leaves that are still on, they're looking healthy, so they're surviving, and it is summer, so we're grateful. Why are you going on my papaya? My dad said this is going to cover everywhere, and I believe him. I believe him. This right here is my chocolate habanero. I call it chocolate scotch bonnet, but it is not. It is chocolate habanero pepper. And guys, whiteflies, enjoy your pepper plant. Enjoy. I'm just taking off a damaged leaf. There's no pest on there, but I'm seeing ants, and that might mean aphids. Aphids also enjoy the pepper plants. This plant is doing well, but I'm seeing 1 or 2 aphids on there. No whiteflies though. Guys, I was told a while back that marigolds are good for pests in the garden, not necessarily whiteflies. But I have seen, since I started planting marigolds, the population of the whiteflies drastically reduced. And where the marigolds are, there are absolutely no whiteflies there. So nothing, it's a flowers, guys. It's beautiful to me. So if it is that you want to give it a go, try planting marigolds beside your peppers. If it is that you're having problems with a lot of whiteflies, guys, it has worked for me. I've tested it over and over again just to see if the whiteflies would attack the plants, and there weren't any aphids on this plant until I moved it here away from where the marigolds were. So I'm going to have to plant some marigold and place them in smaller containers on this counter to ward off the pests. But that's what has been working for me. I've not sprayed them with any soapy water, nothing. Just planted the marigolds, and I used to use ash from my coal pot, and it's like they got immune to it, and it just wasn't working anymore until I planted those flowers. So it worked for me. So give it a shot and let me know if it works for you as well. The beautiful peppers on here. I'm worried about the aphids though. Yeah, there's aphids on this leaf. Yeah, so the ants, they'll lead you. So you don't want to totally get rid of all your ants, because they'll lead you to the aphids. Almost all of my leaves off of my butternut squash here is gone. The worms just eat it all up. Right here, I have 3 broccolis growing. Guys, broccolis are a no-no in summer here for me. And I just cannot believe that these are doing so well. They are just doing absolutely fantastic. And I have a little pepper plant, hot pepper plant in the midst of them. They're doing incredibly well. Here's a little pepper plant in the midst right here. Broccoli is a cool weather crop, guys, as I said. So when you see it doing so well, it must be that I'm doing something differently, and it's the mulch. I got distracted because there's a frog poop in here. The frog slept in here, so the frogs also like the moisture. But when I look in the frog poop, there are so many bugs, so they're helping with the bugs in the garden. But boy, I can't stand those little creatures sometimes, man, because they scratch out my little seedling. But these are big established seedlings, so the frog won't affect them negatively. They're helping me with the bugs. There's so many little bugs in that poop right there. Ew. Ah. Every time I look at that planting right there, I just have to say, look at God. Right, this little section is just looking so good, guys. And I can't stop saying it is summer. We are not accustomed to this sort of thing during the summer. With the plants looking so green, usually we just hope that summer ends soon so we can get the garden back up and running. Ah, it's amazing. That's amazing. It's the best way I can explain that. Just amazing. Back here, I have some okra and they were starting to yellow and they still have not produced. And so I know something is wrong, but I fertilize them. As I said, I use 3 types of manure: horse, rabbit, and chicken. Now I'm going to test out the rat bat, so it's going to be 4 in a second. Well, as of today. But ever since I placed the chicken manure and the mulch on there, they're looking better. This leaf, can you see this one? That is from sunburn. That's how hot it is during the days. So if the leaves are not fully hydrated, the sun will scald them when it gets too hot in the midday hours. But they're looking good and they should produce soon because they're properly fed now. Once you see the leaves are green, you know they're getting enough nitrogen from the soil. I'm not sure if they need more nutrients in order to fruit. I'm going to have to do more research on that. Right here, these are my onions, and if you take a look a little closer, then they're starting to get fat and really nice. And this white looking mulch that you're looking at, it is actually dry leaves from my lignum vitae tree. So my lignum vitae, whenever we pull it, we just put the leaves in one area, and when they fall from the branches, we use them to mulch, mainly the onions and the strawberries. So that's what you're seeing on there. And there is rabbit manure and chicken manure in there, and they're looking good. I'm just going to continue to feed them with that and keep them watered, because onion has such a high water content. It needs to be watered in order for it to develop those bulbs, and those bulbs are what we want, right? Yes, that's what we want. Guys, I can't walk by my volunteers and not appreciate them. This is a volunteer papaya tree. We usually put our kitchen scraps at the root of our fruit trees. This is our orange tree right here that is not doing a thing, guys, and we might be forced to remove it because it's not doing well. And there's some sourshops coming up at the root from mulch as well that might do better, and so we might remove the orange, and so to allow the soursop to grow. But guys, look at the volunteer papaya. Can you see that? Can you see that against my palm? Guys, that's a female blossom, and I'm seeing male blossoms on there too, so we can safely say this is a female plant and we should get fruit from it soon. And the orange is taken from that, so we might have to remove that sooner rather than later. Hooray for volunteers. Guys, that is a black cane, or we call it soft black, but one of you told me it is Suki. Guys, this sugar cane is doing so awesome. Well, this, not just the sugar cane, but this bed here is doing awesome in general. Yeah, to me it is doing awesome given the condition that it is currently in. But if you look closer in these containers I planted, I'm just going to show you the difference with mulching and not mulching. I planted these pak choys a couple, maybe a week or so ago, and I have not gotten the chance to mulch them as yet. Can you see how poorly they look? They aren't looking good. But I'm thinking I might have to just allow these to go, because they're going to go to seed even though they're small, because it is so hot. And for all brassicas, whenever it is too hot for them, they will go to seed. They don't grow as quickly and they go to seed when they're very small. And so I might just allow those to grow to whatever size I can until they started seeding, until they start to seed, sorry, and then I'll just take them out and plant fresh ones. They're filled with callaloo seedlings. About callaloo seedlings, I planted a few. Oh, let me show you guys. I planted a few back here. Right there, those are callaloo seedlings that I just found in the garden and planted. Today, well, today I think is the 22nd. Yes, it is 22nd of August, and I'm going to do an update before the end of the month. So in a week time or so, you'll see the difference with the growth. But again, I need to mulch them because they're going to dry out so easily when the time gets hot during the day. So I need to mulch those, and you'll see how quickly they grow. In a week time, they'll double, triple that size. Yeah. These are some carrots. And guys, when you plant something by faith, don't give up. Believe me, don't give up on it. These are they look as though they were going to die, and I said I'm going to take them out and plant something else in the bucket. But I placed some chicken manure on them and just watered them, and look at that. So this is another project for my rabbit manure this morning. I'm going to put some on this as well and see how well they do. And as I said, today is the 22nd of August, so after putting the wrap back manure on there, we'll see how well they do, and you can help me to document that journey because I have so much doing I forget sometimes when I do what. There are so many aphids on this bell pepper. I'm going to spray them off with the hose when I'm watering and see if I can get rid of some of them. I won't get rid of all, but that's just what I have to do every morning to get rid of some of the aphids. I can't get rid of all of them, but I have some ladybugs in here helping me out. This stand here is just looking beautiful. I am so proud of these scallions, guys. I use these every day. These peanuts were getting yellow. There's still a few yellow leaves on it, but for the most part it is not looking bad. I have a thyme growing in here, guys. There's just so much going on right on this stand, and I'm super proud of it. Some of them weren't looking so good, and I just manured them and tried. Well, all of these containers except for the two at the ends are placed in saucers, so they don't have mulch because the water is held in the saucer for a little bit. By the end of the day it's dry, even though the container is moist and the saucer has water. By the end of the day it is still dry, so that just goes to show how hot it is in the garden. But as I said, because the saucers are there, I spend more time mulching the ones that really need the mulch, and I just allow the saucer to supply them with water until they dry out, and then I water them in the evening again every day. It's just an everyday thing, guys. Over there I have a cassava right next to the marigold, and here my marigold is not just for beauty. I have some lovely cabbages growing over there as well, and I plant the marigold there just to ward off the pest, and it has worked. I'm not sure, well, I was told that the marigold attracts bad bugs to the garden, but I am not seeing where it has yet. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it ward off some of the bad bugs from my cabbages and the veggies that are in close proximity to it. So I'm going to try and plant more. The thing is, to every there's a balance in life. To every bad there's a good, and to every good there's a bad. If you're planting in soil, this marigold will reseed itself and take over your entire garden, but it is easier for me to handle and manage because it is in containers. When it falls on the rock, it does not grow. So it has its advantages and disadvantages, but it has been working, and it has been working very well for me. So I enjoy having my marigolds. They're vibrant yellow color, orange color. It's so pretty in the garden, and it is working for me when I'm not able to be out here working. So that's a good thing. Down here, this is my country life in town. I have so many things going on. I have peanuts here. This right here, I'm gonna take you in closer so you can see. This is another carrot container, and I'm going to be placing some rat bat manure in there as well, so the fruit, the tubers, can develop and give me some, because I'm seeing development already, but I need them to fatten up. Yes, as I was saying, down here is my jungle, and I have so many things going on. I have dasheen. In the dasheen containers there are peanuts as well. I don't think that was a good idea. I wouldn't do that going forward, because right now I need to mold up the dasheens, and the peanuts are in the way because they're going to be ready before the dasheen. I have yams, I have corns going on down here. Down here is just so lovely and productive. The peanuts are producing like crazy. So many peanuts in here. Guys, I just can't wait for that harvest. I need to harvest that with you guys, and I just know it's gonna be good. I just know it. On this what you call this stand right here, guys, I harvest some of the most beautiful peppers and cabbages from here. There's a truck passing, guys, sorry. Some of the most beautiful veggies from here, and guys, for the most part I fertilize these with, I'm not sure if you're hearing the truck as loud as I am, but I keep stopping because I am hearing it loud, so I don't know if you are too. Right, so guys, I fertilize these with manures, but as I said earlier in the video, you have to study your plants and notice what do well with the individual vegetable. This cabbage should not be here at this time of the year, guys. I don't have one cabbage in the garden, and it is doing so incredibly well. This is my second set that I have on this stand right here. The entire stand is looking good, apart from the beans. They are being fried but still producing. For the cabbage, they don't usually do well. As I said, you study your vegetable and you know they work, and you work with them. So for the peppers, I gave the peppers mostly the rabbit manure, and the cabbage I gave them mostly chicken and horse manure. I don't know, they both have very high nitrogen content, but they just seem to work better with the particular. So for the cabbage, it most of the horse and chicken manure, and for the peppers mostly the rabbit manure I gave them. I'm not sure if it's because the peppers produces fruit, but they require more feeding than the cabbages. And for the cabbages, one of you asked me, or maybe two of you asked me a few videos back, if I can prune them. I always prune them, take off the lower leaves, and so I allow for airflow, and so the cabbages does better. And also I'm able to easily see if caterpillars, the eggs or the worms themselves are underneath the leaves, because sometimes they don't start eating it immediately. When you wake in the morning, your entire leaf is gone. So I'm better able to just look underneath the leaves in the mornings to see if there are any eggs or any worms hiding under there to eat the plant. So yes, that's how I keep these healthy and growing throughout the summer. Lots and lots of water. Soak the containers every morning, especially mornings. I water in the evenings as well, but mornings it's critical that you water in the morning so the plants are hydrated throughout the day. Keep them healthy and looking good. This is a really big pepper plant. It is so tall it can't be in the frame, all of it, but it produces lovely big fruits, and it is in a 5-gallon container. Had I known poblano pepper would have been this big, I probably would plant it in one of the half drums, because this is the pepper plant that suffers the most during the day. It dries out so quickly, and it doesn't have a saucer. So guys, even though I will mulch this one, provide adequate feeding, adequate water, it still suffers throughout the day. But when I water again in the evening, it just comes back up and it continues to produce. The fruits aren't the biggest. The ones at the bottom look as though they're gonna be bigger, but it still produces. So I'm learning as I go. I wouldn't plant a poblano back in a container like this. I'd probably put 2 plants in one of the big blue drums, and I think they'll do better there. So as you go, you'll learn about your plants and you provide better conditions for them to thrive in. Yeah, so gardening is a lot of work, but it is so rewarding, guys. So worth it. This is a serrano pepper plant, and it produces so many fruit. There are more than 30 fruits right on this one branch. It's amazing. These are baby bells. So beautiful. Look at the size of this one. Can you see this one? This one is huge. Beautiful. Not sure why, but this plant produces the biggest ones. So beautiful. I think I might have to prune off this limb, this old branch off of this eggplant when I harvest these 3, because it's going over. It's taking the old plant with it. Alright, so guys, I hope you took something from this video. So it's important, the point to take away from it is that it is important to study your plants and your garden, see what do well in what condition, and just try and make it as comfortable as possible for your plants to survive. In the summer it is difficult, and you might feel like you want to give up on your garden if it is that it just, no matter what you do, it keeps dying because of the extreme heat. But don't give up, because right around the corner it's going to be fall, cooler season coming. Yeah, is it fall, then winter, then spring? Yeah, I think that is it. And my brain don't function too right sometimes. Yeah, so it is gonna get cooler soon, and I can only imagine how this garden is going to do when it is cooler. Even though cooler season come with a lot of challenges, we don't struggle with powdery mildew during the summer months because it's so hot, but then as soon as it gets cooler and wetter, then we have that to contend with. But then we don't have some of the insects that bother the garden during this. So each season come with its own challenges. Point is, guys, don't give up on your garden. Continue to plant your food, continue to fight with those pests and insects and critters, those squirrels and groundhogs and all of those stuff that affect your garden. Continue to fight with them. Don't give up on your garden. Okay, guys? All right, thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you as always. Appreciate all of the encouragement, your comments and your shares. We appreciate them. Please continue to like and leave your comments, and please continue to share the videos, because if you enjoy them, if they help you, chances are they'll help somebody else, right? And thank you so much. All right, take care, guys. Bye bye. I'm going to have to do something with you, big guy. Still beautiful. You're beautiful. Oh my word, look at ants.